the second game 7 of this playoffs. The Warriors were up 3-1, and then game 5, they went down big early, and then literally just set everybody
smoked out.
And then in game 6, it was a really competitive game to start.
Until the fourth quarter.
Until the fourth quarter, when the Rockets just smoked them. The double big lineup, the Warriors had nothing for it. Steven Adams was looking amazing. He was looking like 18 Steven Adams. Like he turned the clock back. Defending the rim really well, grabbing rebounds. Fred VanVleet has looked like Steph Curry over the last 3 games. He's been amazing. Can
I start out with the question?
Yeah, what's up?
If at all, does this 3-1 loss hurt Curry's legacy in the slightest?
It definitely does. If they blow a 3-1 lead in the first round, yeah, that's bad. You can't sugarcoat it. It's a blemish. It's not like this is LeBron at age 39 or 40 getting gentleman swept in the first round. It's just not the same. Like Curry is very much still like at the tail end of his prime, I feel like, and blowing a 3-1 lead in general is bad. Only 13 teams ever have done it. So he'd have 2 of them, which is, and it's not like Steph has been elite in these games they've lost these last 2 games. Obviously, game 5 they got blown out, and then game 6 Steph was just mediocre, and he was good in the first half, but second half he just kind of just disappeared. So it's not one of those cases where it's like, oh yeah, you did everything you could and your team just lost. No, Steph, like, he needs to pick it up more, and if he doesn't, they're going to lose. But I bet money on the Warriors. It's a win-win for me. Either they lose and I get to slander Warriors fans, or I win money. Either or. So it's win-win for me.
Beef.
He's 37. He's also dealing with a thumb injury. So I don't really know. I mean,
it's a 3-1 lead.
It's going to look bad for sure. Especially since that game 5, they just kind of punched it at the end. I don't think it's going to hurt his legacy anywhere near close to the loss in finals, but it'll be a blemish for sure.
Yeah, definitely not.
That's what I'm just saying.
No, right now he is on the there are combos with him and Magic. Like those are ongoing combos. Who's better?
I agree.
Magic.
I agree for sure. That is a conversation.
If they blow this, I can't comfortably have him over Magic. It's just I can't.
I still have Magic. I still have Magic bias over Curry. I think Magic is my number 1.
Yeah, but I still have Magic too, but it's very, very close for me.
I think, again, if he has 2 3-1 losses, like you talk about, again, we put an asterisk on every single finals to kind of rate how good or bad it was. I think his 2015 was weak. I thought his 2022 run was good. You know what I mean? But again,
2017 and 2018 were obviously super weak.
Yeah. So those kind of just get thrown out the window for me. I think without that 2022 ring, Steph Curry's career,
that ring springboarded him into Magic talks. Yeah, for sure.
That was a very, very good ring in my opinion. That was a great run by Steph.
And the thumb injury stuff, I'm honestly just like I'll acknowledge it, sure, but he was great in the first half. He had 16 points in the first half, was hitting a bunch of shots. So it's you can't show it to me for half a game and then disappear for the next half and blame it on an injury that you had the whole game. I can't get on board with that. So,
this is one of those series where experience, championship pedigree, all this extra crazy shit, it don't matter. If a team is younger than you, more athletic than you, a better defensive team than you, they give more effort than you, they have an advantage on the offensive glass, and they are able to force turnovers, they're going to win the series. Now, I don't. So, what's your predictions for Game 7?
So you got Rockets winning?
Yeah, I think the Rockets are going to win the series. I do. I think so. I think they found something with the double big lineup that the Warriors just can't really have a rebuttal for. And I think Stephen Curry is hurt, and that's affecting him as well. As the series goes on, I think they're very, very tired. This is an old team. I mean, you can tell when they're playing. The Rockets just have so much more energy. They've just won a game where Jalen Green was terrible, and they still won no matter what. Fred VanVleet. I don't know if he'll keep this up in Game 7, but Sengun has been solid, but he has a way to get even better.
He hasn't been efficient.
I think the key to the Warriors winning is Steph going crazy. I think Steph and Jimmy will need to have really big games, which I think they can do. But
your stars got to show up. It's Game 7. Your stars have to show up. Like nobody from this Clippers Denver game is coming out of it saying that Chris Dunn should have played better or like Zubac should have played better. No, they're coming away from it saying like Harden and Kawhi, and especially they're probably on Harden, like you needed to show up. It's Game 7. It's about the stars, period. Like I remember the Nuggets Jazz Game 7 from years ago in the bubble. And it was like you had all these games of Spida and Jamal Murray both going for like 50. And then you get to Game 7 and neither of them really like were there. And Denver ended up winning because Jokic showed up. So
yeah. I think they win Game 7. They have the momentum. I don't think it's locked in stone anyway. I can't really rely on like the Rockets and their offense. It's still their offense has still been bad. They just been able to get rebounds. Dylan Brooks has played solid. Tari Eason has played solid.
Their defense is winning them like this series, and the offensive rebounds. Like that's the regular season. To be honest, like it was those two things specifically: the defense and offensive rebound. I will say the double big lineup. It's not something that I think works against every team. It works against Golden State because one, Golden State is very small. They're very undersized, so they actually can't abuse it. And two, the way to punish a double big lineup is really just to like be athletic and get out and run and just leave them in the dust. Golden State doesn't really have that. They're like, especially with no Kuminga, they don't have a guy who's like blitzing up the court. Whereas Houston has multiple guys, even with a double big lineup. You have Amen Thompson out there. You have Jalen Green out there. They're the most athletic dudes on the court by far. They're like top 5. Like Jalen Green's like top 95%. Amen's top 100% like athlete in the league. So even though you have double big and it's slow, it's balanced out because you have speed. Like how many fast breaks did they just get like Jalen Green leaking out or Amen Thompson leaking out? It's just easy points because they're just beating everybody up the floor.
So who are you guys picking in Game 7? I'm going with the Rockets. And
experience. We picking experience.
That shit's so overrated, bro. But I mean, I can see Steph going off. I can see Jimmy Butler coming to play, but it's definitely gonna be very hard to do on the road in Houston.
I mean, they did it Steph did it on the road against Sacramento, who went for 50. So I'm not worried.
Max, who you picking in Game 7?
Very few guys in the league that you have to give respect to in this kind of Game 7 situation, and Steph Curry is one of those guys for sure. Steph Curry is someone in a Game 7 situation. It's tough to bet against him, and really? I will. Yes,
I will be at a bar if there's any Houston listeners. What's the name of the bar? They're not watching this shit anyway. But I'll be at a bar that's like 5 minutes away from the arena, so cheering on Rockets. We'll see. It'll be
Steph is 3-2 in Game 7 in his career, bro. It's not like he just out here winning Game 7s. Like
I'm not in the Game 7 as
well. I mean, one of those is the 2016 finals, so he was against the greatest player of all time.
There are very few basketball players that I will give this out like a one-game situation like this to where I'm going to trust them to win. And if I had to put my money on it as it stands today, I would go with the Warriors because they have Stephen Curry on their team.
Agreed.
He had 27, 9, and 10 against the Rockets in 2018 in Game 7. Yeah. So who should the Timberwolves want to face? Like, who should the Timberwolves want to win this game? If you were the Timberwolves, who would you want to win this game and face you in the second round?
You go, Max.
I think it's different because I think obviously you don't want to play Steph, so you'd want to go with, again, the inexperience of Houston. But I think if you really believe in your style, I think you would want to play Golden State. As far as I think, again, there's very opposing styles. Minnesota has a bigger team than what Golden State puts out on a night-to-night basis. I think if you really believe in kind of how you play basketball, I think that you should want to play Golden State because they play so much smaller. Are they going to have an answer for Rudy? Are they going to have an answer for Julius Randle? What's Jimmy Butler's health at? I think there's a lot of questions going on with Golden State that make you want to lean towards them. But again, they still have Steph Curry. Do you want to play Steph Curry in a 7-game series? So I guess if you're going off, I'll say, I think if you're going off like a team-to-team basis, I think you'd rather play the roster of Houston in their first in this team's first playoff win. They're hyped off that, whatever. You play the very, very inexperienced team. But I think overall, like, there are a lot of question marks currently with Golden State that make it a very, very appealing team to play for Minnesota. I think that the matchups they have, if you believe in your style, I think you want to play them because they're just a small team. We saw the 2 big lineup kill them a couple nights ago. So I don't know. I think I guess I don't really, again, I'm giving a shit answer because I don't really know. But I think both pose pretty.
Who's your pick?
I don't have one. I'll probably just roll with Houston because they're inexperienced. Sure, Houston. But I think Minnesota should be feeling confident against both teams.
I'm going to go with Golden State just because I think that Minnesota's in a really good rhythm. They're in a good groove based on the way they could play against the Lakers size-wise. And I think they found something Game 5. Like, we've never really seen them use Rudy in the paint, like throwing him lobs like that. We just haven't really seen that from them until that Game 5 against the Lakers. And I think they can replicate that against Golden State because Golden State, they don't really have a choice but to put Draymond on Randle. Nobody else on the team can guard Randle. It'll be bad. Like, we saw Randle was cooking in the Lakers series against guys like Rui size. Even he was able to score on LeBron a few times. And like, Golden State doesn't even have anybody their size. So if you don't put Draymond on, you're putting like Jimmy on him, and he's just way too small. So they pretty much have to put Draymond on Randle, which means they're gonna like have to put, I don't know, Quentin Post on Gobert. And I think like they can just use their size again in the same way that they did against the Lakers. And then Jaden McDaniels, I think, will do a really good job against Steph. I think they have a lot of guys that can do a good job against Steph. Jaden McDaniels, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Dante. Like, they have multiple guys, multiple bodies to throw at him. And then, like, Ant-Man doesn't even really have to guard him. And then you can, like, Ant-Man, go take Jimmy for, like, a few possessions, or you can just go guard Pods off the ball or something like that, or Moody off the ball and just rest and just give us offense. I think it's just more favorable for Minnesota to see Golden State. I will say the Houston matchup is interesting just because I feel like Minnesota probably shuts down a lot of what Houston wants to do. The double big lineup won't work. You can just the Minnesota basically plays a double big lineup as their starting 5. Like, Randall is borderline a 5. He's more of like a 4-5 rather than a pure 4. And he's pretty much the same size as Sengun. So it's like that they basically have a double big lineup in their starting 5. And so when Houston goes to that, it's like you got Gobert matching up with Steven Adams or Randall matching up with Sengun. You favor Minnesota, I think, in those types of matchups. So either one, I think, is favorable for Minnesota. But I will say, just based off the rhythm they've built against the Lakers by really like being physical and using their size against a smaller team, it's probably just better off. You want to play the smaller team by nature of that and play Golden State.
I think the Timberwolves would definitely want to see the Warriors, who are the older team. The Warriors are also a little bit banged up as well. They'll be able to use their size, like KD said, against the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors match up well against the Timberwolves really at all. They will lose that series in probably like 5 or 6 games. I think Houston can make them work for it offensively. They also have their own double big lineup. They're physical. They're athletic. They can match their athleticism. They can match their physical. They can match their physicality. They can match their athleticism. So they would probably win both series, but I think it'll be a longer series if it was Houston. I think it'll be a tougher series if it was Houston. So they definitely want to see the Warriors in the second round. That's for sure.